Welcome to the 5th grade play, The 13 Colonies. We hope you enjoy watching our performance as much as we enjoy preparing.
Hello, my name is George Washington.
And I'm Martha Washington, and we're here to tell you about the marvelous story of how our country began. It's a story filled with excitement and drama.
Dreams of gold, the clash of nations.
And best of all, we get to play the starring roles. Oh, George, I never get tired of this. The bright lights, the photographers, it just makes me want to salute something.
I, Leif Erikson, claim this land for me and all the Vikings.
Excuse me, but we're starting a show here.
I know. I visited America nearly 1,000 years ago. I want some credit for being part of the 13 colonies. I was here first.
No, you weren't.
I wasn't?
Not at all. Native Americans were here hundreds of years before you arrived. Isn't that right, George?
Oh, sorry. Come on then, back to Minnesota.
In fact, let's take a visit to the eastern seaboard in the 16th century to see what's going on with the local tribes.
Ooh, I see some Iroquois coming our way, but George, they don't look happy.
South to Florida to get a closer look at some of those new European explorers.
Ooh, I see a settlement coming our way. Isn't it exciting?
Programs. Get your programs here. Charts of hidden treasures. Guides to the Everglades. Right here. Directions to cities built of gold. Maps to the houses of the stars. Programs. Get your programs.
Hey you, wait, I'm Ponce de Leon, famous Spanish explorer.
Welcome. Want to buy a map to the city paved with diamonds and rubies?
Do you think I was some dumb tourist? Get real. Though, I was wondering you wouldn't happen to have a map to the Fountain of Youth, do you?
Those are very hard to come by. Let me look. Ah, you're in luck. I have one left.
You do? I'll take it.
That will be a pound of gold.
Well, don't just stand there, pay the man. At last, this has been a very difficult journey. Some people want adventure, while others look for gold. But me, I want some water to make
George got a splinter from his wooden dentures, and he's having his gums massaged. Isn't that remarkable? Now, where are we? Oh yes, the 1600s brought British to America. You know what that means. Jamestown, John Smith, Pocahontas. You know the story, you've seen the movie, and you've even brought the product tie-ins. Life was tough on pioneers as they pushed out on the frontiers. Let's get up close and personal with some pioneer boys and girls. Welcome, pioneer boys and girls. Tell me, what was your life like?
Out of bed, but I'm still asleep. Cut potatoes to feed the sheep. Got no shoes, but I'm out the door. Bringing wood and gun once more. Sunrise to sunset. Gotta work all day. Sunrise to sunset. Not much time for play. There was no time for school. Picking berries and spinning wool. Feed the hens and learn how to sew. Weed the garden so our veggies grow. Sunrise to sunset. Gotta work all day. Sunrise to sunset. Not much time for play. Gone all day as I tend the herds. I just chopped in the trees and birds. Help my mom to make all the bread. Evening comes and the grounds are fed. Sunrise to sunset. Gotta work all day. Sunrise to sunset. Not much time for play. Sunrise to sunset. Sunrise to sunset. Sunrise to sunset. Gotta work all day. Sunrise to sunset. Not much time for play.
Welcome to Name That Colony, the quiz show that tests your knowledge of colonial trivia. Time for a theme song from the Name That Colony singers.
The colonies of Hampshire, York, and Jersey are quite new. We're well aware that Delaware is something special too. Maryland's the very land I never leave behind. Connecticut is cool and Georgia's always on my mind. Jamestown, Virginia is where it all began. The Carolinas, so warm we got a tan. Rhode Island now is my land, it's so tiny and so cute. Pennsylvania's perfect, Massachusetts is a beaut. These 13 colonies are all we need for pioneers. I doubt we'll need another one for several hundred years.
Tonight's contestant is Betsy Smith. Ready, Betsy? Here we go. The 13th colony established in 1732 was...
Idaho!
I'm sorry, Idaho was not one of the 13 colonies. The 13th colony established in 1732 was Georgia.
I really like potatoes.
I'm sure you do, but you only have 2 questions left, so try to concentrate. The first colony to decree religious toleration was...
Idaho!
No, Betsy. Idaho was not one of the original colonies. Are you sure you understand the premise of our game? Name that colony? Get it? Think of someplace near the East Coast.
You can't
can't go wrong with a good Idaho potato. You can mash them, or bake them, or smear them with a little chocolate, whipped cream, and...
Thank you, Betsy. The correct answer to our question, the first colony to decree religious toleration, was Maryland. Okay, time for our last question. I'd really like to see you get this one. Okay. Okay, here we go. Ready, Betsy? Name the colony founded as a refuge for Quakers, led by William Penn in Philadelphia, chartered in 1682 in between New York and Maryland. And Betsy, it's not Idaho. Got the answer?
Idaho!
No!
I really love those potatoes.
Just start the music, start the music!
The colonies of Hampshire, New York, and Jersey are quite new. We're well aware that Delaware is something special too. Maryland's the very land I never leave behind. Connecticut is cool and Georgia's always on my mind. Jamestown, Virginia is where it all began. The Carolinas, so warm we got a tan. Rhode Island now is mine and it's so tiny and so cute. Pennsylvania's perfect, Massachusetts is a beaut. These 13 colonies are all we need for pioneers. That will be another more
Thank you, thank you. It's great to be back. You know, Martha, what a super audience. You know, Martha, I always say that circuses audiences are the best in the world.
Oh, absolutely. Your smile looks wonderful, George. It's amazing what they can do with mahogany these days.
I thought I'd introduce you to one of our most famous men of the 18th century. Benjamin Franklin is perhaps...
Hold it. Hold it right there, Mr. Washington.
Excuse me, but who are you?
We are the History Police.
The History Police? I don't believe I'm familiar with your organization.
That's right, ma'am. History Police. We're here to see that you don't mess around with history.
We enforce the facts of history, and we just clocked the two of you going pretty fast there a minute ago.
Pretty fast. 150 years of American history in 5 minutes. Way over the speed limit.
You flew right past the development of the 13 colonies. 1 minute we're on the frontier, next we got all 13, firmly established.
We only have 25 minutes to get through the...
And now you're suddenly introducing Benjamin Franklin. Have you no respect for the flow of history?
I'm sorry, but...
But we like you. We are going to let you with a warning this time.
This time, but you better slow down. Explain to your audience what's going on. We won't go so easy on you next time.
We were very lucky, George. I had no idea.
Oh, here he comes now. Ben Franklin, can you stop for a minute?
A penny saved is a penny earned.
Sure, Ben. But I was wondering if...
Lost time is never found again.
Ben, can you just stop for a minute to talk?
I got my work, I got success. I got my little printing press. I got foragers almanac to publish too. My maxims flow the worded right. I got my string, I got my kite. Sorry, but I've simply got a million things to do. Little strokes fill great oaks. Hey, that's good. Hey, that's good. I'm a walking book of famous quotes. I hope somebody here is taking notes. My Franklin stove is really hot. I hope my fire department's not. As postmaster, I've got to see the mail gets through. What's lightning like? What could it be? should stay near shore.
Hey, that's good. Hey, that's good. You can't think I've time to stop and chat. When I keep coming up with things like that, so I'll find out something new. We whiz kids have so much to do. I'm sorry, but I've simply got a million things to do. I'm sorry, but I've simply got a million things to do.
I'll tell you why we British are fighting in this French and Indian War. It's over religion.
No, I'm telling you, it's simply over control of fur trade.
You're both wrong. We want land. The French want land. Something's gotta give.
It's over religion.
It's trading rights.
It's a fight for power.
Wait, maybe we're all right, but I know why we are really fighting.
Why?
It's because we're British and they're so, how do you say it? French.
Yeah, that's it. They wear hardly anything on our fine beaches. They eat things like goose liver, snails, and peaches. They jump in our kitchens and think they are the bosses. They smear all our meat with all kinds of rich sauces. The French have got to go. Come on, it's Westford Ho. The French have got to go. Come on, it's Westford Ho. There's just one thing we can do. We must fight and say adieu. You can bet your shackles the French have got to go. They don't understand what we're trying to say. Hey! We are someone that brings us play. We told them it's casual, they still wear ties. We serve them some chips, and they ask for french fries. Oh, the French have got to go. Come on, it's Westford Ho. The French have got to go. Come on, it's Westford Ho. There's just one thing we can do. We must fight and fight the coup. You can bet your shackle the French have got to go. The French have got to go.
George and Martha Washington will now be performed by Juliana and Joe.
Things are getting exciting now. We're in Boston in 1773.
Hold it. Order right there.
The history police again?
You are a troublemaker, Mr. Washington.
Having a little fun with the French and Indian War, were we?
Well, history is not about fun, Mr. Washington. No, sirree.
No sirree. Where's the facts? The dates, the family trees. You gotta explain things. Tell the audience that after the French were defeated in the war, the British and the colonists were left to struggle for control of the land.
Control of the land, Mr. Washington. We're not going to warn you again.
Yes, well here we are again in Boston on a cold night in December in 1773. And the colonists are not happy about the British rule.
Coke, get your Cokes right here. Pepsi, Pepsi Cola right here. Ice cold Pepsi right here.
Wait a minute. I'll take one of those.
Say, aren't you Samuel Adams?
Yes, I am. And this is my cousin John Adams and his wife Abigail Adams. She's holding little John Quincy Adams.
So, you're the Adams family?
Yes, we are.
And where's Uncle Fester?
Excuse me?
Since when did upper-crust colonists like yourselves start drinking sodas and stop drinking tea?
Since the Parliament back in England put a tax on all imported tea, we are going to show British they can't get away with it. Bosworth Longfellow and Sybil Ludington. Looks like Longfellow's working on a poem.
This is a special moment, Martha. Longfellow's trying to write an epic poem about Sybil.
Okay, that's it. Cuff him.
What do I do now?
What did you do? Why, you skipped the whole beginning of the Revolutionary War. Here we are in the middle of the colonists' fight for freedom from British rule. You can't just start in the middle. Yeah, where's your narrative sense? The beginning, the middle, then end?
And now, in 1777, you got a little-known Revolutionary War heroine named Sybil Ludington talking to the great American poet Longfellow.
And he wasn't even born until 30 years later. Book him, Dano.
But it's a dramatic license.
We're revoking that license, mister. But Longfellow's right there talking to Sybil Ludington.
Listen, my children, and you shall learn a ton of the minute ride of Sybil Ludington. No, doesn't sound good.
But I deserve a little recognition, Hank. I did everything Paul Revere did.
I know, but your name just doesn't flow. Besides, Paul Revere went on his famous ride first in Massachusetts.
But I rode from Connecticut to New York, twice as far as Revere. Think of how much more dangerous that was.
Okay, how about, listen, my children, and you shall know the one of the minute ride of Sybil Ludington. No, that's even worse.
But shouldn't people know about me too?
Of course, but your name just doesn't rhyme with anything. Think of Revere. There are so many possibilities. Year, clear, career, hemisphere.
But I was just 16 years old. That's something, isn't it?
Volunteer, wood veneer.
Oh, I'll never be famous. "16 years old, 40 long miles on horse in the dark. Isn't exactly a walk in the park. I stop at each house and I bang on the door. I tell them the British are coming once more. Sybil Ludington, Sybil, we cheer. Sybil Ludington, glad you came here. Too bad your name doesn't rhyme like queer. You'll miss the folk songs and texts closely fear. 16 years old and I ride through the night. Warn the militia, get ready to fight. The British are coming, I yell at each door. Sybil, they tell me we've heard it before. Sybil Ludington, Sybil, we cheer. Sybil Ludington, glad you came here. Too bad your name doesn't rhyme like Greer. You'll miss the folk songs and texts closely fear. Too bad your name doesn't rhyme like Greer. You'll miss the folk songs and texts closely fear.
Sybil was just one of thousands of colonial heroes in the war. I'd like to think I, George Washington, General, First President, and Father of the Country, etc., had some small part in it all. But the colonists were ready to fight for their freedom.
It's our Revolutionary War. Independence we're fighting for. We got tired of King George's reign. We got common sense from Thomas Paine.
first president, and my first act was to arrest these district police for being a public nuisance. I only regret that, but one life to lose for my country.
The president isn't going to execute us.
He isn't? No. I knew that. With a solid constitution, this new country will get off to a flying start. Let's end our review of the 13 colonies with a chat with James Madison, the man behind the Constitution.
You know, I thought the Constitution was perfect, but I got to admit, the Bill of Rights adds just the right touch. So come on, George, Martha, let's do it.
Do what?
Let's boogie with the Bill of Rights.